Now, here's some reasons why anyone under the age of 13 playing basketball does not need a trainer at all. Reason number one, their coordination and motor skills are still developing. Sorry, I have my notes right here in split screen, but their coordination and motor skills are still developing. So when you hit 13 is usually when most kids start to the early stages of puberty, which means they're in that awkward phase and they have zero coordination, unfortunately. Like these kids have no coordination before the age of 13, right? So since those are still growing, it makes no sense to try to learn these high level movements, but you don't even know how to walk right yet. Number two, specialization can cause burnout at an early age. That's when it stops becoming fun to play basketball, especially as a kid with my dog's hair everywhere. But now it becomes a job because now they have to work on this skill. They have to do these drills and things like that they don't want to do, and it no longer becomes fun for the kid. Three, and this is a big reason because this happened to me when I was playing a lot outside and sports and things like that as a kid, and like right before puberty, their bodies are not fully developed yet, right? So I'll show you on me right here. You have your growth plate, and that's where your patellar tendon anchors into your shin. And sometimes you can have Osgood-Schlatters disease. It's not like a terrible thing. It's just what happens when there's too much repetitive movement and you get that swelling in that little growth plate right there, or that little nodule, right? Your body's not built for all that yet. All this high intensity, high level training on a young body can really take its toll. And unfortunately, it's detrimental. It does not really help the kid at all. Number four is the biggest reason. And I say this to everyone who asks me to train, especially if they're like below 13 or their parents ask. You are going to learn way faster at a younger age just playing the game. Go outside, play basketball with your friends. Go to this park, play basketball with who's there. You are going to do so much better just learning how basketball works in a chaotic situation like a park, or just playing horse, playing pig, 1v1, playing 2v2s, 3v3s, trick shots, stuff like that. Making it fun and just learning to play the game will benefit you more than working on specific skills with a trainer. And that's especially with pickup basketball. There is no such thing as predictability. It's not an organized game where you can predict, you can watch film, you know how this player's going to work, like it's impossible to predict, right? So that's why it's important that these youth players, they just go out and play. Show up to the rec, play games. Like, it's going to help you with your timing. It's going to help you with driving. It's going to help everything in a basketball game that you can learn is going to help you there. This one is one I see a lot. Number 5, creativity develops best without rigid instructions. When you are forced into a program or into a training style, a system, a learning pattern, things like that, unfortunately, you lose your creativity. And as a kid, you always see the kids trying to do, let me up and under and or trick shots or things like that during a game. It helps with their creativity. You can train basketball creativity as you grow up, but unfortunately, it's a little bit harder than when you're a kid and you're learning all this stuff. Let's go between the legs, layup, stuff like that. It just makes it less. Number 6 is one I like to stress to every parent, every player under a certain age. You're gonna learn your fundamentals at home with your rec league or AAU coach, with your school coach if you're in school ball in like middle school, or your older siblings. You're going to be forced to learn those fundamentals because unfortunately all those people are better than you, or if you're learning from a parent, they're an old head, so they're just going to naturally play the older style of basketball, which is more fundamentals, to be honest. But the fundamentals, you cannot start building the details of a tower without that foundation. So fundamentals are important, especially if you have a parent or older sibling or your coach is already teaching you these things. There's no point in getting a trainer. A trainer is to help build on certain things, and if you haven't even started, there's no point. Here's one, and this was one I did not come up with. I saw this one online. Cognitive maturity isn't developed yet. So your cognitive maturity is your ability to reason on things, right? So a kid is not going to understand like my triangle drills, right? Drive here, speed stop, lateral float back, drive in, stop and pop. They're not going to understand the reason why they're doing that, like, at all. And that's because they just don't understand the game of basketball, and they don't know how to reason on something that they don't even understand a small portion of, unfortunately. Before the age of 13, it's constantly the whys and how come, or why do I got to do this? I don't want to do this. It's a bunch of kid stuff. They haven't developed that maturity to just reason on it or even think forward into the future and creativity as to why that drill makes sense. Number 8 is a big one. It's financially unnecessary. Trainers, now like most of my students, I train for free, right? So it's easier. So you can come train with me, I don't care, but I'm telling you right now, like, you can train with me for free, but I'm going to tell you, especially at a certain age, you're going to do better just learning from school ball or your older siblings or parents until you get to a point where you actually need a trainer. But a lot of families, and I've seen this personally, they pay $60 to $100 an hour, and the sessions are 2-3 hours long, and the kid does not get any better. The kid is actually worse after the trainer that they go to, spending all that money. The only thing that you need realistically to get better at basketball: ball, hoop, time, and someone to be in your corner saying, you got this, bruh. That is all you need. All of those things are pretty cheap. If you don't own a hoop, like during COVID, I bought a hoop for the house just because like all the courts were shut down. A ball is like, you can get a $25 ball. You do not need a fancy Wilson Evo or Wilson NCAA or Spalding TF, whatever that tracks your shots. You don't need any of that. Get a cheap basketball to start off. That's all you need. And then someone who's got your back. That's really all you need. This one here is pretty important. Cross training and multi-sport athletes. The ones who become the best at different sports are the ones who play multiple, right? I'll use myself as an example. I played soccer and tennis from an early age alongside basketball. So I've already had the mind for basketball, right? Know how it works. But I've also played soccer, which is heavy on footwork, probably the most footwork intensive sport. And then tennis, which helps with lateral movement, but also explosion, right? It's a very athletic sport. You have to be like quick and fast for tennis, and reaction time as well, right? Helps with that hand-eye as well. If you can take lessons from all of the sports, or your multifaceted athlete or athletics, you will fare so much better than everybody else in the sport of basketball. This one is very important as well. Number 11 is players develop better when they choose to train later. There is no point in a parent registering their kid for a training course when the kid does not want to train in that sport or may not even want to play that sport. The parent is trying to live vicariously through. When the kid makes a conscious decision that they want to play the sport, it is real to them. It is something they want to do. They are going to be committed way more. Because their progress is going to go up because they're so committed. But when they're just doing it because their parents want them to do it, that kid's going to be boo-boo buns. I'm not going to lie. Because they're not putting their full effort in. And the last one, and this factors into why a lot of my players and students I train for free, and I only charge a few of them. The goal should be for love of the game first. If you do not love what you're doing, you're not going to want to do it, right? Training becomes easy. Doing the boring stuff becomes easy when you actually love the results you're getting. Not only just the results, but you love the journey and you love the activity. If you want to become a better shooter, it's going to be boring. You're going to have to be taking shots. You're going to have to just be driving in and shooting. You're going to have to drive in. There's a lot of things you're going to have to do that you don't want to do. Sometimes you just don't want to shoot around. But unfortunately, that's the best way to get better at shooting and to learn the mechanics. And there's a whole study portion as well. If you don't like basketball, you're not going to get better at basketball. But those are just a few of the reasons why, like, if you're training any kid before the age of 13, you are a scammer because it's pointless. You don't need to do it, and that kid needs to love the game of basketball first.